Hello, wonderful viewers, and welcome to Animal World, Our Co-Inhabitants. So what is the special gift that dogs bring to humans? They bring us the gift of their unconditional love. They are willing to shower endless devotion on us, care for our physical and emotional well-being, and if necessary, even sacrifice their lives for us. However, sometimes we treat our kind, helpful canines in appalling ways. One of the most thoughtless is to leave them chained up and unattended. The Humane Society of the United States, after conducting extensive research, has concluded that chaining a dog is both dangerous to humans and inhumane to the dog. The term chaining means the practice of tethering or tying a dog to a stationary object or stake, frequently in the caregiver's backyard. Chaining is supposedly a means of keeping the animal under control, but what is wrong with this practice? First and foremost, when we thoughtlessly leave a dog chained, we degrade its noble character and make the animal feel lonely. Dogs are genetically disposed to be social creatures that thrive on the company of human companions, other dogs, or even other types of animals. It is their natural way of life. So when a dog is chained and left alone, it quickly becomes despondent and its tender, loving heart begins to break. In addition to companionship, dogs love variety in their lives. They love to see different sights, hear interesting sounds, and sniff different smells. They love to play and go for walks and are in fact very much like us. This is one reason dogs make excellent companions for humans. Thus, when we chain a dog and leave it in the same boring, tedious place hour after hour, it loses all its sense of joy. It feels like a prisoner just as we would. According to research by the Humane Society of the United States, when a dog is kept chained alone in one spot for long periods, it begins to suffer from severe psychological damage. The dog, by nature, is friendly and docile, but when it remains chained, it becomes neurotic, anxious, unhappy, and sometimes even aggressive. Besides causing psychological problems, chaining a dog can result in severe physical problems as well. The muscles and digestive system of a chained dog begin to deteriorate due to lack of exercise. He may also develop sores on his body from having to lie on the hard, cold earth for hours at a stretch, and may pull on his collar trying to escape the confines of his chain. As a result, his neck may be injured, or the chain might become entangled around the dog's neck or leg, causing it severe bodily harm. In addition, a tethered canine usually suffers from many other forms of torturous physical conditions, as the helpless animal is unable to escape from mosquitoes, black flies, horseflies, and other painful biting insects. With its severely limited mobility, it may be forced to sit in the blistering summer sun without proper shelter, and so may become overheated or dehydrated. In the freezing rain or snow of winter, its tender paws become cold and wet. A chained dog is like a prisoner on public display, unable to escape harassment from insensitive humans passing by, or from the attacks of other animals. Sometimes people believe that if they keep their dog chained, it will make a good guard dog. This is absolutely false. In fact, chaining a dog makes it more aggressive, but not necessarily more protective. A dog that is chained outside does not learn to distinguish among people. As a result, it will usually be aggressive toward all humans who come into its territory, including the mailman, the neighbors, and even young children. Statistics clearly show that in fact the best guard dogs are those who live inside the homes of their loving human families. Such dogs learn to distinguish clearly between friends and intruders, and an intruder would think twice about entering the house if he hears a barking dog inside. If a dog lives in a loving environment, he is more than willing and ready to protect his human family through his natural instincts. When Animal World Our Co-Inhabitants returns, we will hear the touching story of Supreme Master Ching Hai's rescue of 2 dogs in Hungary who had spent their entire lives chained up. To witness the amazing recovery of these beautiful canines, please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Animal World, our co-inhabitants. Previously, we covered the detrimental harm to the spirit and body of chaining dogs. And now, let's hear about the happy conclusion for 2 dogs rescued from a life of chained imprisonment. In her international #1 best-selling book, The Dogs in My Life, Supreme Master Ching Hai writes about 2 dogs that were chained outdoors in Hungary 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, supposedly to guard vacant houses. One of Supreme Master Ching Hai's personal assistants witnessed the dog's heart-rending plight and Supreme Master Ching Hai's deep compassion. He recounts the experience as follows. At the opposite side of this concrete area, Master and her assistants also noticed 2 crooked walls that leaned toward one another to form a sheltered gap, in front of which was a large, short-haired dog that appeared to be a German Shepherd mix. Like the other dogs, he was also bound by a chain no longer than 3 meters. However, this dog did not have a doghouse like the others, but found refuge in the gap formed by the 2 concrete walls, both sides of which were open so that the wind and rain could blow into his shelter. Inside the gap were only dirt and mud, and as with the others, this dog's area of movement was covered with dirt and feces. It was apparent that the 3rd dog, however, only defecated in one corner of his area in order to stay clean. But sadly, his chain would always drag along the ground, spreading his filth over the entire area, so he had no choice but to lie down in his own excrement as well. Master was shocked and disgusted at the scene, and immediately inquired about who owned the dogs and why they were kept in such inhumane conditions. Next, the sympathy in her heart for the pathetic beings led her to the large dog first, and as she approached, the dog wagged his tail with joy and a sense of longing and curiosity. After Master came and petted him, he immediately gave her his paw in a kind, gentle way. And upon seeing this show of love and compassion, Master began crying, for the creature had shown her great kindness even after other humans had treated him heartlessly